Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the stream today. I am your host, the Darkin King, and last time we left off with our endeavors out with our Legends of Ocarina of Time Chaos Hardcore Challenge, as it were. We had just finished off getting through the intro scene, we got ourselves clearing out an old ancient tree, and we delved into a cavern host to a monotonous amount of fire-breathing dinosaurs. So that was interesting. But today, let's continue the story, and let's move on to the next part of our journey. So let's see where today goes. Move that off camera. There we go. Alright. As we were. Right, I forget. Because we had just finished, I believe, grabbing our first of multiple upgrades, specifically attached to magic power. So now we have to make the long haul and head out to find the third spiritual stone. So let's see where today's adventure takes us today. Yes, I know. Go away. Hope your guys' day is going well. Hope you guys are ready for the weekend here to come soon. Granted, it's Thursday today, but it certainly feels like a Friday to me. We need to move forward. It couldn't hurt to ask. Given the thematic points of things. Let's see if we can get Saria's help here. I do know where we need to go next, but I want to add a little bit of ambiance for the story. Granted, this is also our first use of this song in this playthrough, so we'll add a little bit of context here. Water. Yes. Oh, interesting. Well, to be fair, I mean, normally when you play this game, it's usually the instance of those that have played this for the first time. It's usually the case of, well, what do you use it for aside from calming King Darunia's rampage? But then again, Saria's had a lot of instances where she's able to give a lot of advice, especially in the game. And if you don't know where to go, sometimes even Navi suggests that as an idea for advice. In the midst of holding that up, seriously? Yes, we could do the frogs. I'm not going to get all 5, that much I know, due to the fact of, 1, doing all 5 will get us a piece of heart, so we're not doing all of them. We will play the songs for some of them. That much I will comply with. Melody of the Royal Family. And those I remember from last time, that bomb stole. Okay. I was holding a bomb mid... Okay. How he's not hurt from that, holding that bomb is very interesting. But yes, those I remember from the... Frogs my favorite game placed. You know, well, yeah, in the original game, you could... I mean, listen. If we were playing the original game, and we had all 5 of the musical songs we could play, which I think we actually do. No, we need one more. But we could get a piece of heart for getting all the base game. Technically, I think you can get 3? No, you get 2. You get 1 from getting all 5 frogs to play, and you get 1 from also getting the Sun Song. So we'll play a little bit of a barbershop quartet, so to speak. and move my mic a little bit closer. Hopefully it's still not on camera, but we'll see. There we go. Brain. There we go. Hope everyone's day is going well. Or went well, rather, at the same time. More rupees that I can't do anything with. Alright. Alright, we've made the somewhat frog quartet, so... We don't have the fifth one anyways, plus that'll then... Full waddle's always nice, though. Well, here's the thing, though. Even with the full waddle, we're not going to be able to use it. Again, part of the challenge is to not use any of the shops. Even if it is excluding potions. But true, even then, especially in any kind of Legend of Zelda game, regardless, having a mass amount of money is always good in every case of the word. Because you never know when you're going to be in a pinch and you need something to buy. Or need to buy something, rather. But if you remember, the royal family's song is Zelda's Lullaby, and that's how we got in to seeking Darunia. So we need to make use of that here. Zora's domain. Okay, chat, now think about this for a second. Has anyone ever wanted to take a high dive off of that place? I mean, legitly. Dive from up there into the pond or pool, rather. Can you imagine the full high dive of that? Someone would do it. I, for one, do not have the amount of courage to do that. Good place for... Can you imagine the size of that splash? What was it, 20, 30 feet? Just cannonball, just sending it all the way to the roof. Granted, that would probably hurt in the recourse, but still. And dive. Off we go. More diving. There we go. Perfect. Now, I've done this a good handful of times when I've played this game, and normally it happens with the randomizer, because normally by this point I would have already gotten the item we need to get from Zora, and I would have forgotten to go back and pick it up. Even after several times of playing this game, I still forget the most essential piece of this puzzle. we have the silver scale. Alright. And we're probably only going to get the silver scale in this playthrough, given that the gold scale upgrade that we can get later in the game is nice, but it only adds like a little bit of extension of air, and it's really only essential for getting a heart piece. So we can skip that. First, next, we need a fish. Why do we need a fish? We'll answer that question in a second. Those that have played the game will understand why we need the fish. And doing so now saves us a lot of trouble in backtracking. This first dive. We dive again for the essentials. Because empty bottle. But it's not empty. Now quick swap, let's go to shore. If only for a second. Now, the question I've had multiple times playing this game, who was that originally meant for? Was it meant for us, or was it meant for somebody else? Still to this day, I'd never figured that idea out. But we have a mission. We must go save the princess. What makes you say that? Those of you who remember a lot of the cutscenes, specifically with the Great Deku Tree, know exactly why he's concerned. It's never blatantly pointed out, but I think everyone can understand the reasoning why. Very good. Very good indeed. Narrowing eyes, staring daggers into my soul. Having played the randomizer, I had forgotten how long it actually takes him to move from one side to the other. Thankfully, I understand why. It's a cutscene to yeah, why he moves so slow. Ain't that the truth? See, but we have to go again. The history mandate says, and I quote, we have to go inside Lord Jabu Jabu. Alright, guys, who wants to prepare what's going to be on the other side of this endeavor? How else do you feed a giant fish? Or whale. I never figured out what he is. Feed a giant fish with a fish. I feel like he's some kind of like whale shark or something. But I'm not one a marine biologist, so I wouldn't know. Again, so many questions of why we are letting this young 8, 9, 10-year-old child cleanse an ancient tree, destroy a den of dinosaurs in a cavern, and now delve into the inside of an ancient fish-like creature. Logic, everybody. Why do we scar the poor boy like this? Hey, I'm not the one who asked him to go on this endeavor. And I mean, besides, if he's not going to be the one to do this idea, then who else will? I don't think anyone in their right mind would have the gusto to even start the first idea of this whole monologue plan. Jellyfish and everything in between. I have no comment at all for this. I have to be the hero here anyways. I wonder why. No, I'm gonna stay here. We came here to do a job, and we're going to do said job. Alright, Chad, get ready for our first escort mission. Ow. And one I do not enjoy as part of the early game. Set you there. Door. Okay. He should not be that strong. Yeah. There are so many questions. Well, to be fair, he does have the Goron's bracelet. So he does have a bit of a strength boost, but I feel like the Goron's bracelet specifically is only for him to be able to pick up bomb flowers. He still has the strength that he does, and he can pick someone up just the same size as him, and with no issues. I think I just gave up trying to make any sense of this. Extra weight. Nice. Nothing subtle about an open, empty room. Fantastical of the dungeons. I mean, a lot of the ways that these are put together, these are definitely creative in all their various forms. I mean, you go from ancient tree to a cavern of dinosaurs to now inside of a giant... Again, giant fish, giant sea creature. Very creative in their designs. Then again, there's also probably the same can be said about various other amount of dungeons. I mean, a lot of the new series games, dungeons, are very creative in their way they're put together. Some are more creative than others, and some are very simplistic. So, they each have their own 2 cents about it. We have the boomerang. Now, honest question to anyone watching. Has anyone ever attempted to actually throw one of those things and have it come back to you and catch it and not hit yourself in the face? Or hit yourself in the process of trying to throw it? Oops. Too early. Wrong way. But yeah, back to that boomerang conversation. I have attempted to try to throw a boomerang, just a basic curve bend boomerang type scenario. Yeah, I'm on the same boat as that. As a kid, I could never get the arch right. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I tried so hard, and I feel like all I did is I threw it, it spun, and then it just fell straight down. I don't know if I remember got the angle right, or the one I had was just not meant to be thrown like that, or it was just a ceremonial thing. Ours is lethal. One would say it's bladed. We have our dungeon map. I was gone for less than 2 minutes. I'm not going to continue that joke. There's not a joke. There's not a relationship thing. I'm not going to go to there. I'm not doing that. We move on. We deal with bubbles. In this context, bubbles are not good. Unlike many people that want to see bubbles. Very nice. Alright, grab this. Nice. Moving right along just fine. Alright, now those of you that caught it beforehand, we gotta go back and do a quick backtrack. Now that we cleared the red tentacled chunk from one side of the room, we can now go back this way. Do one more color. Very nice. Alright, making good time. A little over less than half an hour. We might be able to make some pretty good progress today. Again, might is key term. I have played this game a few times, but challenge runs like this, I've only done... This type of challenge, I've only done this once. But 3 hearts and 1 life, I've done... once each, so... You can see the degree has essentially increased. But I'm also the one doing it myself for your guys' enjoyment, so here we are. Alright, we've cleared off all 3 tentacles. Or appendages, or whatever they're called. But make a lookout for, if you caught where the green one was earlier in this room, we now have an open pathway to go down the steps. Be mindful of the bigger ones. But we will be running right into something very important. The vibrant color of that gemstone. Whee! All that work, she gets all the glory. The phrasing of we do all the work, they get all the thanks. Alright, we're out of here. Or not. Chat, get ready for the first mini-boss. Or the only one, I think, of this round. Meet the Big Octo. Crescent Moon Cephalopod. And done. Relatively simple boss fight. I also got extremely lucky because normally when he does his stun spin, he will then just spin backwards, or in some cases he will just stay completely in the same direction he was running and then just ram you across the... I wanted to collect that. Right, we never picked these up in the Deku Tree. Well, we have them. Noted. They're not going to be very much help at this context, but we have them. Alright, moving right along. Before we deal with this part, we have a couple things. First, okay, that was uncalled for. Hang on while my back was turned. Dirty man. Now then. Stun, turn, stun. Very nice. Moving right along very nicely. Right. We need some blue. Jellies. Again, my inner loot goblin says, you should grab everything, you should grab everything. I want to. It's part of this challenge, I have to resist. I mean, also at the same time, if I'm not getting collectibles for the skull scotolas or the heart pieces, they don't really have much use. I mean, true, you get an item at the very end of it all, but I mean, you get better items just for the first 10 to 50. Alright, we reached the boss. In a pretty good time, too. Might get a lot more done in this part than I thought. And I thought anemones were docile. This is completely different than a docile anemone. Nothing of this is docile in any way, shape, or form. Ow. Every time, I always forget. Get them all in one. Please. Ah! Alright, turn. Okay. Need to think more logically. I may be small, but I'm not small enough to duck over that. Good progress. Good progress. Nice, very nice. The range on this thing. There we go. Very, very nice. Hopefully in this context, Jabu Jabu is now actually going to be better. Hopefully less parasitic. Alright. So you were just here the whole time. Alright. Gonna just bite my tongue and move on. I'm useless, she says. I did just save an entire giant guardian creature. I'm not that useless, I promise you. Link has lost his balance. I mean, wouldn't you do the same if someone came up to you and was like this close to your face? I'd be a bit uncomfortable. We do need the spiritual stone. We've been on this for a while. I don't think we're of the age to do that. Chad, are we setting these two up for a late game engagement plan? Is that what's happening here? Someone help me. I have a lot of questions. Hopefully it's all kosher. I don't know anything about this, so I'm not going to answer that. Nor am I going to assume it's going to be appropriate anyways. We have all 3 stones. Time to hightail it home. Well, back to the castle, rather. But we have finished the quest. And because I'm not going to be bothered to go down steps to do this. Thank you, but no thank you. I wanted to dive. There we go. Hey, you want to play a game? No, thank you, I did that beforehand. It's like, any of you been to carnivals before, and it's like kind of like that environment where someone's pulling you aside and always wanting you to play their game? But then again, not be surprised, it's good advertising. It's good because, again, you make a good impression on the carnival game, you win a prize. Always good business environment. But carnivals also can be intense for people. Righty. That's normally down during the day. Those of you that have played understand why we should be very worried about this. Those that haven't, well, just watch. You will understand exactly why we should be worried. Dark clouds and thunderstorms are always a good sign. Don't you need that? Oh. Cool. This is good. Make no intentions to answer the man in the dark clothing. That was a bad idea. Well, this is gonna be interesting. I mean, what did we expect? We have a toothpick, so to speak. Granted, it's a sharp one, but still. In comparison to his size, they're clearly outmatched. All we can do is hope we give them enough time to escape. I must retrieve. Very good. My hand on the desk. Now, chat, remember, we have to stop by the Hyrule Castle before we go to the next chunk of story. We were told to do that in the last part when we chatted with the Death Mountain Great Fairy. Always a good, soft, somber song. Alright, we move on. Make a quick pit stop. Now again, as the previous rules mandated this place, we still cannot go through the front gates. Even if we did manage to get through once, go through the front gates is certainly not going to be the optimal choice. A lot of the Legend of Zelda songs are very good as like background ambiance. Our first aggressive spell. We will need that later on. Especially for this context where we're surrounded by various enemies. Actually, think about it now, and Pink actually made a point of this earlier. She actually is right. We are going to need rupees, specifically not for buying stuff at the shop, but going after Rapona. And that'll make sense when we get onto that point later on, those that have played the game. So to give her credit, she was right. We are going to need some rupees. We may not use them in the traditional sense of buying items, but we will be using them. All will be explained in time. Can you imagine the resonant aura that would be in this place? It'd be so cool. Who among you out there think you could pull this blade without breaking your hand or some kind of limb trying to pull this thing out? But we must do what needs to be done. Always with a backhanded betrayal. Always with the ominous laugh. Man named Roru. The maintenance on your mustache and beard must be very intensive. I'm sorry. That was an uncalled for comment. It does look good though. Yeah, what do we look like? We've been sitting there for who knows how long. The man has grown up. He is now the adult. Definitely a lawful good kind of persona. Can you imagine what would happen to normal people that have that kind of instances? But then again, that's essentially what a coma is. And again, I have sympathies, and for those that have had those kinds of instances, I do wish the best for anyone's recovery, let alone returning from one of those. Yes, we have to become the hero of time. Must fulfill the destiny that has been laid out before us. So we have a lot of work to do. Add to the power. Make us stronger. We're only in about an hour in. We still have a lot of time. We could easily just get the first, if not the second dungeon done tonight, but I don't want to overexert myself anyways. Or rather stop in the middle of a dungeon. I like to do it in proper parts, so we'll see. Alright, Rower, you can trust on us. We will do what needs to be right. Yeah, that'd be my first impression too. Especially to someone who just walks in unannounced. Or unexpected, at least. Forest. Mountain. Lake. House of the Dead. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to go to that one as well. Goddess of the Sand. The Shikai. Those that have played the game, do not spoil this for anyone in chat or watching. Let them enjoy the story. Again, even I have to hold back. I've played this game well over a couple of dozen times, but I don't want to spoil anything for those that are first watching it for the first time. Alright, let's make a return trip then. So, we do have to go back to Lost Woods. We have to go back to the forested area, specifically to go to the first dungeon. But, a couple of things we need to do before we run off and do that. First, Kakariko Village, of course. We'll understand why when we get there. But before I do any of that, I gotta visit an old friend. Also, this scene definitely horrified me as a kid of seeing the transition. Made me so sad. But, knowing that we were gonna fix it, made things that much better. Because you and I both know we are going to do what is right. But I, for one, do not want to walk every which way for the rest of the game. We can get a good distance even as an adult, but even then, we are better off doing this with a partner. Let's find our old companion once again. Mr. Ingo. Schemes. Nibbling man. Oh, no, we won't say anything. Not to your face, at least. Those of you know why this is a bad idea of having him in the driver's seat of this ranch. Just from that comment alone. Oh, we'll pay and ride, but we won't be riding the one you're going to pick for us. I've done this riding thing before. Now let's get one horse that I'm sure everyone will remember. And boy, did she get just as much of a glow up as we did. The once little pony is now a beautiful horse. And a majestic one at that. A very majestic horse. I have to remember the controls again. Alright, we got our money back. Now to do the tricky part of this challenge. I want to ride. I don't know what triggers it. I feel like you have to do this a couple of times, or just keep riding around until he triggers it. Now we'll just reset the counter. Alright, we'll ride again. Maybe it's the multiple attempts we can kick it off. Very good. Alright, same thing as before. Bank left, we'll grab the rupees again. Alright, now does he give us the notion? There we go. Okay. This was the reason we needed those rupees. You can thank Pink for this idea. Or at least the instance of getting all those rupees ahead of time. Days must maintain the lead. Yeah, you're gonna get humiliated, my friend. Now, it's always the second round that makes this harder. He pushes you to every instance. Try to fumble this race. You gotta cut it real close on the inside. Make use of every carrot and try to get the most of the speed. But don't burn them out too quickly. Otherwise, it will take you a long time to reset your bar. Alright, we got it. Very nice. This is what happens when you bet on a losing battle. Who said we were going out the front door? Time to jump the fence! Always jump in the fence. Not that. Go around the edge. Certainly a lot more dreary. Again, we're so many years in the future, it's going to be a whole different atmosphere. Those of you remember our old gravekeeper Dampe. He's no longer with us anymore. But he's still with us enough to challenge us to a race. Chase is on. And so it begins. Hopefully I can do this first try. I have fumbled with this quite a few times, but mostly because of the random placement of those fireballs. Because of that. Specifically that. It's never that simple. I was cutting it close. Very surprised at that. Oof. Ow. Must make it. Must make it. Whew. I made it. Only a couple of hiccups, but we made it. Certainly could have been a lot worse, but here we are. The hook shot. We will need this item for quite a while in the early stage of the game. We'll get an upgrade later that'll be. We'll get an upgrade later that'll be very helpful. But for now, the hook shot is ours. Very nice. Or I should equip that if I'm going to make use of it. Oh, and while we're in here, we should also pick something else up. I think this is our last one of these. It is. We need to pick up one more. Not that. Mr. Hurdy-Gurdy Man himself. We need to learn a song from you, sir. Make a note of this, chat. We'll make use of this later on. Probably 3 dungeons from now? But getting this now will make it much easier later on. We can just jump straight from A to B. Or A to D. I'm overthinking it. We need to use it later. More of the story. Oh. Get off the windmill. There we go. Alright, we have our song, we have the hook shot. Let's go back into the forest. Oh, cameo. You'll get to see that quite a few times, chat. Our little void floof cat will be wanting all the attention or screen time, so expect that to happen a lot more often. Alright. Off we go. Cool. First instance coming into this place. That is not something we want to have. Especially at the front door. Lots changed in the time we've been gone. We must do what we can to fix it. And right what has been wrong. Planes flying overhead. Or someone's got a super-powered car outside. Gotta remember to make use of the song. look who it is, Mr. Mido. Really? What if we played this? We can prove to you we're good friends. Alright, we now reach the return of this somewhat overhead stealth section. This will be where the rogue part of Link's D&D build will be very handy. Sneak, stealth, and go around for the ambush. More because of these. Meet the moblins. Or they're brutish, bulky figures. And I know my luck as it is, so I'm not going to attempt to try to sneak past them. I'd rather just deal with them all right here, right now. Less chance of a broadside. Or, you know, getting stabbed in the back by the giant spear they wield. Get the angle of this. There you go. There should be 2 more. One here. Very good. There's one on the other side of this pond. This was always the one that gave me problem. Or he's not. Oh, he must be around the corner. That must be why. Okay. Before we run off into the next section, I want to take a quick pit stop into this. Because as we know, chat, potions for healing will not be very effective at me if I only have 3 hearts. But fairies are basically the instance of life or death. So it means I can cheat death once, twice, or even 3 times. If only a moment. And I want to take it. But even then, that can only do so much for you. And then we have the king here. Or the brute. Either way. Man just loves swinging that giant hammer of his club. Very nice. She was usually here, but not anymore. Thought you were back at the temple. Minuet Forest. The naming of these songs is always pretty cool. And the tunes are just as cool as well. Flashbang. Alright, into the dungeon we go. That's not... okay. How he gets up there is so interesting. Now this background theme as a kid always gave me shivers in all various forms. It just felt so off-putting. Here. Hookshot will be very useful in cutting down half the climbing time. Make things so much easier. So I can reach. No, I won't. Get a little closer. Chest. There we go. Only in this dungeon. We got it. I'm still always impressed by stunt people that can just jump from like 50-foot falls and land with grace. Granted, they probably also have a lot of suspension equipment to help them not impact it. Such a high velocity. Four bows, holding 4 flames, all in separate areas. Cool. We're gonna need to go Poe hunting for a little while. Thank you. Rather abrupt. Alright, first of 2 mini-boss fights in this dungeon. Stalfo Bros. Be mindful of their jump attacks. Those things can hit hard, and they really hurt. Almost sputtered there for a minute. They are very painful and will hurt a lot. There we go. See? I almost died right there. Those jump swings are nasty. Well, that was almost my first down. Wow, okay. Pick up some health, please. Thank you. Pick up the... thank you. Alright, that was almost bad. Right off the rip. First adult dungeon, almost dying to the first mini-boss. But then again, Stalfo Knights on this degree of difficulty are always dangerous. Mostly because that jump attack is so lethal if you're not prepared for it. I think it was, what, 2.5 hearts, and it took 2 of those off? So if you're not prepared, this thing, that swing could one-tap you if you're not careful. Actually, I'm gonna grab something else first before I run off into that. Alright. A little bit of a fumble, a little bit of setback. We can fix it though. Alright, deal with that. Actually, before I do what I'm going to do, need to deal with Mr. Octorok here. Thank you. Alright. That's... no, I wanted... thank you. Alright. I don't think I can reach. I think I'm going to be a little bit short getting to hit him. Don't think a bomb explosion would get high enough. I can try. Nope. Okay. Just going to grin and bear with it. Hi. Chat, you're going to get a little bit of a sneak peek with the resident Shadow Queen here. Or Shadow Princess, rather. Hope you don't mind a little bit of a cameo. Well, actually, at this point, you might as well make a note of it that she will be coming on stream probably quite a few times. She likes to hang out with me and the wife, so that's... I'm not showing that to the public eye. No one needs to see that. Now, be very careful going up the vines. When those things turn purple, you need to be afraid, because it will just whip around and go right for you. So he's going to go. It's not looking at you. Hold on, chat. Let me swap camera here. There we go. You can get more of a visual... So it might be two dungeons today, given somebody wanting attention here on screen chat. But I mean, can you blame them? Living pets always want the best from you. Are you gonna join on stream? Are you gonna sit on the lap? What are you gonna do? No? Alright. Back to what we were doing. And continuing. Mindful of that. Very good. Right over the banister. Neat. It is also Deku Stick, so it's not the worst thing to lose. Ow. Again, I don't understand how this man can leap from 50 plus feet. Well, again, if he's part fighter rogue, I mean, maybe he's also somewhat part monk with that context of slow fall. I don't know. Someone give me like a veritable chart of all the possible combinations that Link's multi-class could be, or single class if he was going to go that route, and what he would do and what he would be. There's gonna be like a spreadsheet out there somewhat that has all the various combinations. Somebody out there will know. Alright, now that we're a little more fully prepared... Ow! Ugh. Mindful of the direction of where those blocks are supposed to go, chat. For those watching as well, and this is context for a lot of these games, given the context that a lot of these dungeons have all various amounts of puzzles, backtracking, and everything in between, personal preference when it comes to puzzles, something that's more simplistic and straightforward, or something that has a little bit of a challenge with a steep learning curve. I know that's probably two different spectrums there, and that probably didn't make any sense the way I phrased it, but in comparison of how do I phrase it? It's if a jigsaw puzzle and a Where's Waldo puzzle kind of scenario. Where one, you know the end goal, but the journey there is difficult. Or one where you know what to look for. No, that's exactly the same thing. Never mind. Forget what I said. I'm not making any bit of sense. No, that is exactly the same thing. Those are two same points. I don't have a good comparison. Forget what I said. Can you imagine looking down back from this hallway in this direction and seeing that and thinking, am I on the wall or the ceiling, and why is this making my head spin in all various directions? Because my immediate thought would be, what is gravity in this context? Because none of it would make sense. It's a video game, right? Some of these aren't supposed to make sense. Less questioning, more enjoying type scenario. Alright, here is the second mini-boss. We regroup with the stealth foes. But again, remember, these guys can hit pretty hard, especially at 3 hearts. So it's capitalizing when their guard is open. And always be moving. Alright, now we're on a time clock. We gotta beat this one before the second one gets up, otherwise it will just keep repeating itself. Very nice. Okay. That one's smoother than it normally does. again, the normal trick to that fight is that if one gets up, you have to just keep knocking it down. So if you don't kill both of them in the time it takes for one to get back up, it's just going to keep on a loop, and it can get frustrating very quickly. He has the bow. This will be a very good weapon. This is our adult slingshot. And for those of you that have wielded a bow, know exactly how difficult this can be, especially even for kids. Granted, the toy bows we were given with like the suction cup arrows are much simpler than this. Anyone knows that recurve and even compound bows can be very difficult and dangerous in all various ways. I even took an archery class when I was a kid, and it still gave me the heebie-jeebies of what I can do with that. I was always afraid of hurting somebody. More as well as myself. We are fighting one of the 4 Poe sisters. This being Beth. I've also played the games so many times I know each of the ghosts' name. But I mean, Navi also gives you details about each one. I've just continuously forgotten I could do that. Or I just chose not to do that. We have the compass. Alright, before we run forward, we gotta go backtracking, because if you saw in the previous rooms, there were a couple of eye switches. We need to make use of those in part of transitioning. Plus, given what we did with Beth in the back room as well, we need to work with the red ghost. The angles of these stairs are always difficult. There we go. Nice, very nice. Go this way. Also getting rid of the bubbles at distance with this thing will be very nice. Thank you. I don't know why it took 2 and then 5. Or how many it took, I can't count. Because we need to get a couple things going down this route. Specifically, and probably most importantly, to what lies in this chest. You're gonna need this boss key. Very nice. Alright. Oh yeah, these. Meet the Floor Masters. Severed disembodied hands that love to scurry around on the ground. Some of the more disturbing creatures in this game. But if you do it right, very easy to dispatch. One of the reasons why I think I've never been a big fan of horror movies, given the context of... This was meant to be a kid's game. And then that's what you find out. Cool! Alright, with our 2 small keys in hand and the boss key now acquired, we should be able to make it to the next chunk of this dungeon without any issues. Again, it's also been a minute since I've played this, so hoping it goes well. Only one way to know. We do have to switch back the hallway. I want to avoid getting grabbed by that creature as well, so very nice. Cover the gap. Glad I could get rid of that without any issues. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of tactile precision. Hopefully we can get this on the first pass. If not, we'll do another lap. Yeah. Alright, we're good. We're good. Now, can I get back without going into the muck? Nice. Oh, the suspended ceiling's never a fun sign. Be mindful of the gaps. And find them when you can. But don't get greedy. more of that. Go back, go back. Okay. Frantic House, I can't even shoot. Not with that pointing away. It might have been easier just to get those Scotella creatures taken care of before I went through that door. Or before that happened. If you guys don't mind another cameo. What? Always so greedy with the attention, aren't you? Alright. Time for Poe number 3. Let's assemble this block puzzle and meet Amy. If I got the angle of that right. Nope, I don't want to climb it. There we go. Very nice. Okay. Ah. Back. Nope. Nice. Alright. 3 sisters, 1 more to find. So we met Beth, which is blue, Joelle, which is red, Amy, who was green. And now to find the final Poe sister. Who comes to us, actually. This is Meg. And she splits. It's a twisted form of Guess Who, and pick the real one. Nice. Okay. Gotten past most of the main dungeon. So why am I still always nervous getting into the final section of this one? I've fought against the boss, I've done this fight how many times, and every single time I get to this point, it's always nerve-wracking. I don't know if it's just about fight or it's something else or whatever the case is, but those of you who have played this, even with more hearts than this, know how difficult this fight can get. And this boss fight is never a pushover. But I could get lucky. I'm hoping that's the case here. One more turn. And one more switch. I'm hoping this goes well. We do run, attempt, and we're done with it. We might actually end up streaming a little. We might be closing up shop a little bit early depending on the time slot, but we'll see what happens. Come around 8:30 where we're at. It's only an illusion. Only an illusion. And escapes into the paintings. Now the trick with this, he's gonna split into 2 copies. Listen for the horse sounds. You can pick which one's the real one based on where the horse sounds are coming from. The clippy clops. Textures on the portals are not working the way they need to. Alright, that pushes him off the horse. Now he's going to be free flying. Okay, that's a first. I've beaten this boss well over a dozen times. I've never had the luck to get before I get to the ping pong phase. Normally, when you fight this boss, he throws one of those lightning balls at you, and you have to reflect back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until he drops his guard, and it goes right through his defensive line. That is a first. I'm glad that was caught on stream for that for me. Always a good thing. Always a good thing indeed. For those who remember last time, this has been 7 years since that tree, since our great digger tree has fallen. And a little sprout's here. Or seedling. Yeah, that's been my reaction too after getting almost bashed in the face. Yeah, we did what we needed to do. No, they did not. Always begs the question of if we're... then what are we if we're not Kokiri? Hylian. Now here's where we get our lore, specifically on our young friend here. Where did this Hylian child come from? I feel like it's probably easier for you guys to read the dialogue on your own. I don't want to bog down the story with my own commentary. Unless you guys want to. It's perfectly fine. You let me know if you guys want me to start reading the dictations. Yeah, we gotta save the world. Alright. Now, normally I would go for another hour or so, but because of how long it's going to take to get to the location, through the dungeon, it's a bit of a longer area. I think for the sake of brevity, I don't want to attempt to try to save the game or go over stream time more than I need to. So we'll cut it short a little bit early tonight. But next time, hopefully, depending on how long those dungeons will take us, we can get into the probably at least to the third, if not maybe to the fourth dungeon in this game. But as part of the mandates, I want to make sure I save as much as I possibly can, because I'd hate for this to corrupt and we have to restart all the way from square one. So, but all things considered and all things put together, I do appreciate you guys spending a little bit of time with me, enjoying the various amounts of, you know, banter and back and forth, and as well as enjoying the gameplay and all. But if you are enjoying it, I hope you did. Be sure to drop a follow. I will be doing this consistently every Tuesday, Thursday, 6:30 to 9:30, hopefully on a consistent basis, at least until 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. If not, then 3 hours from 6:30 to 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. My schedule will be all up on my Twitch chat as well, my Twitch channel as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop a like, comment, subscribe, share the video, reach out to those that want to watch it and take a look at it. If you're enjoying it, I hope you return. As always, I'll see you in the next one, guys. But just know, while the void may be dark to many people, there's always a spot in the void for everything that is lost. And those that are lost will eventually be found by those who need to be found. Take care, guys. Have a great evening.